Hey guys, it's been some time since I've last uploaded a video tutorial, and until I'm able to get some free time to actually make some more, because I would really like to, but I've been tied up with some projects and stuff, but until I can upload some more, I'm just going to quickly make this release video because I've been getting some requests to release a model. Now I believe it was back over a year ago that I had done some Metroid style animation and someone had asked me to upload the various suit file. So I did so, but it was the unrigged version. And the reason why I didn't upload the rigged version is because I'm using Cactus Dan's CD Character Tools plugin. And I don't know how many of you are actually using that, so that's why I didn't upload that particular file. So now I've been getting some requests to upload the rigged version. So the download link is in the description to this video, and when you open it, this is the file that you're going to have. This is Samus in her various suit. I believe that this particular model comes from the first Metroid Prime, and if you hit play for the timeline, she's basically just running in place. It's just a very rough cut type of animatic of her running. So I want to quickly go over some things about this particular file just to get these things out of the way in case anybody wants to know. First of all, the model is not mine. I was actually going to model this from scratch, but I went online and found where someone had ripped this particular mesh from the game. So someone found some type of emulator and actually ripped it, and when they ripped the model, she was in a T-pose. And anybody who does character work, you know that a T-pose is the preferred pose to model your character in if you're going to be rigging it. So she was in a T-pose, and then I just rigged her using Cactus Dan's tools, and then just quickly put this little running in place thing together. Alright, so the model is not mine, however, I did have to clean it up, and I worked on some of the textures here. Let's see, if I render this, you can see there's certain parts of the suit that light up, meaning that the texture has a luminance channel activated, and I think it's probably going to be this one here. And previously, when the model was first imported into Cinema 4D, it did not have this. Everything was just in the color channel, and that was it. So I kind of played around with it and worked on it a little bit and cleaned the mesh up. Now one thing to keep in mind is that this mesh is triangulated and it is rather low poly. So I would not attempt to drop this into a HyperNerve object, otherwise things could get a little ugly. So the rig itself, I'm sure some of you are probably going to want to use it if you have Cactus Dan stuff. If not, then you'll probably just want to delete all of the nulls that are probably going to come about, because when you open the file, it's going to tell you that you're going to need the CD IK, CD joint skin, and CD constraints. And if you don't have those, then more than likely all of these things here are going to be null objects. But if you have the plugin installed, then we've got different controllers here, and I'll just quickly go through those. You can unhide the joints here. You can see what the joints look like. So here's the joint chain here. There really isn't anything here that you need to mess around with. A couple of things here you could probably keyframe. We'll get into that in a minute. But the main controllers are up here. You got the body controller. And the body controller, you can see that it has been keyframed. And it also has user data. So you can see the user data will do the head turn, and the head up and down. And inside the body controller, we just have we have the L arm controller and the R arm controller, left and right. And each one of those has been keyframed as well. And it also has a user data. So we have the arm IK blend. We might get into that a little later. That actually probably would require a lengthy video on rigging for characters. The hand IK blend, and we also have twist, bend, and swing. Also has a CD hand tag. And what this will do is actually move the fingertips and whatnot for you. You can see you've got different controllers down here. If we twirl them down, you've got the thumb. You've got all of these parameters for the thumb, the index, middle, ring, and pinky fingers. All right, same thing for the R arm controller as well. We have the L foot controller. It's been keyframed, of course. Got user data for that. We've got a foot rocker, and the foot rocker rocks the foot like that. The toe tip controller Try not to go too far with it, otherwise you can see that up here around the knee it kind of locks up and looks a little weird. We got foot banking, and we need to swing it around to see that a little better. Okay, so there's the foot banking and the toe twist. And all of these parameters can be keyframed. All right, now also up here for the eye controller, let's put her up about right there. The eye controller here is the text that says eye. And you basically just take this and move it around and her eyes will follow. So if I pull this in closer to her eyes and just watch her eyes when we start to move this around, you can see her eyes are following it. So whatever you want her to look at, you need to animate the eye target to move in that direction, because that's what she's going to be looking at. All right, now, as I said, the mesh is not mine. It was ripped from the game. However, I'm the one that did rig it, and I did clean it up a little bit. So if you're going to use this for any type of animation and you're going to be using the CD rig that I've built here, just give me credit for it. That's all I ask. Just give me credit as the one who actually rigged it. I'm sure probably some of you are not going to actually use the rig. You're probably going to do something else with it. But if you're going to be using the cactus stand rig, then just give me credit as the one who rigged it. All right, so I think that probably wraps this up. I just wanted to release this for those that were asking for it. And hopefully in the near future, I'm going to have some new tutorials coming, a couple of sub-D modeling tutorials, and maybe a couple other things as well. So stick around and hopefully I can get those completed and uploaded in the near future. So thank you guys for watching and enjoy the model.